Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. Enjoying this wonderful pizza from Slice on Broadway, the people in Pittsburgh that provide good pizza to podcasters.
Hey, listen! This week on Boss Battle. Welcome everybody to Boss Battle number 136, a show in which the writers of InsertCoinToBegin.com get together and talk about video games. I'm your host, Bobby F. J. Tom, but before we get to the infotainment and general frivolity of this podcast, let's see what everybody achieved this week. Chachi, how about you? What'd you achieve?
I'm up to 3,500 saved coins in Crossy Roads.
Wow.
Because I'm out of characters that I can get in the bubble machine.
Wow.
So it keeps giving me a bonus, and I keep getting it, and it just racks up for the next update, I guess. But I got back into Call of Duty. It is exactly like riding a bike. It was really, really rough at first, and then at first I mean my first game I went 5-9, 5 kills, 9 deaths. And my second game, I went 26-14.
Nice.
So
did you fall and skin your knee?
No. So yeah, there was some trigger finger rust, but I knocked that off, and I'm right back to where I was. And this was prompted by the fact that I watched 4 hours of the Call of Duty Championships that was this weekend.
Okay.
And I have to say that I enjoyed it a lot more than other sports.
Wow.
Like, if I were to have a choice between watching Call of Duty Championships and hockey, I would probably pick Call of Duty every time. And Sorg watched a little bit of it, but it was extremely exciting because one of the teams in the Grand Championship shouldn't have been there. Extreme underdog. They went 7-0 in Search and Destroy, I believe. It was either that or Uplink. Throughout the whole tournament, they shouldn't have been there. And then lost in the last game of the championship.
Wow.
But definitely entertaining if you ever have a chance to check it out. I would go out of your way to watch some. And we're talking full on. Switching between characters, commentary, listening to the team's chatter, extremely entertaining.
Nice.
Let me ask you, did you play the new one or the last one that was out?
Which one? What do you mean?
Advanced Warfare? Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I have that, but I haven't played it yet. I don't have anybody to play with yet. So, and I just haven't picked it up.
Well, I don't have anyone to play with, and I still play it.
I don't like playing
and it happened with the last one, too. I didn't really have anyone to play with. And then, Black Ops 2 was probably the last one I had someone to play with.
Mm-hmm.
And I played that one for over 400 hours, mostly by myself.
I don't like playing with strangers unless they have candy.
It's basically like playing the game on hard, and I really don't mind that because I mean it's Call of Duty, so chances are I'm gonna die a lot anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been focusing on ranked play a lot today, so we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna keep playing because it's Call of Duty and I have that itch.
Itchy. Sorg, I see you're holding something up there.
Oh, because all I've been playing is a super card whenever I have any time.
No!
That's what I'm doing. Look at this super
No,
card.
we're not allowed to
Al
talk
Kogan's
about
going to
super
get
cards.
this one. Look out, Randy Orton. Look out, Randy Orton. Go get him. Go get him. Yeah, Hulkamania.
Oh, Sorg, we didn't talk about that game at all last week. And I thought we were gonna start a streak and
Bucking the super card trend.
Nope,
You
because
ruined
this is all I did this week. It is all there was for me this
Actually-
week. It was this and WrestleMania.
Tell you the truth, I got back into super card a little bit too.
Yeah, Bobby.
started.
Yeah.
I had my common cards that I had, and I just fused them up. I haven't played it since they had the fusion
Dude,
thing.
I have like a couple legendaries and some epics, like a good collection of epics, and I got some fusions and everything. And then like this guy on the Wrestling Mayhem Show Facebook group shows his board, and I'm like, my God, you had to have spent money on that thing. Because he's got ones that are like in the 1500s and it's just disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. But so it kind of like inspired me. So I'm trying to make the most out of these weekend events. At least I mostly play the weekend events, to be honest, and always try to have a King of the Ring going. Even if I don't pay attention to it, at least I'm getting some extra cards. Yeah. So I mean that's it. Just kind of keep the ball rolling, and then Immortals here and there too. So, but super excited because WWE announced they're going to do a 2K game. So there's going to be a real WWE wrestling game on an iPad, an iPhone, and everything. So I'm excited. Bobby, I'm excited. Bobby, are you excited?
I am excited because my first fusion card was Adam Rose.
Ooh.
And I was like, I'm all in. I'm back in! Anyways, I achieved this week. I played Simpsons Tapped Out, and I got Radioactive Man at the last minute. And I got his house and all the other stuff that went with him. And, Chachi, you'll be happy to know I finally unlocked the Penguin on Crossy Road.
Nice.
So it took me forever. And I saw that damn whale, and I missed him. And I have not seen him since. So I'm still hunting the white whale, or the hipster whale, as he's known as. So, all right, you want to take us around the net?
It is now time for this week's video game theme things from around the internet.
Net.
In what I've deemed the funniest case of swatting ever, a 13-year-old boy from California was arrested this month on suspicion of reporting 3 false emergencies, commonly known as swatting. And if you don't know, swatting is faking an emergency such as a bombing or hostage situation in order to get a SWAT team sent to your enemy's house. This kid first swatted a teacher of his. Then he swatted a female classmate. And the one that got him caught was when he swatted, wait for it, his Minecraft rival.
Wait. There are Minecraft rivalries?
I was as shocked as you are. I had no idea that was a thing.
It's such a peaceful game.
I know. And he got caught on that one and was arrested. Police say that he'll probably end up with just probation.
I like to think of this as like contractors in Minecraft that just have rival businesses.
I honestly laughed when I read the headline. And then I opened the story and read it, and then I laughed some more. And then when I went back to post this, I laughed even more. Like, who does that?
Apparently that kid.
Oh, man. So, yeah, that was a thing that happened this month. Next up, for a brief amount of time, Super Mario 64 using the Unity engine was available to play in your browser. However, Nintendo, being like Nintendo, issued a cease and desist and had it taken down. So you can't play it in the browser anymore, which sucks because I had favorited it to play in the browser at least once, and now I can't even do that. But I put the video of what it looks like in the post over there. So,
no more Bowser in the browser.
Did either of you play this?
Nope.
Didn't get a chance to.
Bookmarked
Bookmarked it as well to try it out, and just didn't get back to it, and that's unfortunate.
Okay. Yeah.
I think my computer would melt.
That was a thing that we missed because of procrastination. Damn it, Nintendo. I have a feeling I'll probably be saying that a lot this episode.
You will see this. You will be saying that a lot this episode.
Last but not least, I don't know if this is an April Fool's thing or if Google was just in a fun mood, but if you go over to maps.google.com, you can play Pac-Man on the street map.
Pac-Man fever.
What you do is you load the map, and in the lower left-hand corner there will be a little Pac-Man picture, and you click on it, and the screen will reconfigure and fill in these streets with Pac-Man dots, ghosts, Pac-Man, etc. And you can sit there and clear the roads of pellets.
What about Miss Pac-Man?
No appearance of Miss Pac-Man.
Jeez.
But
come on.
I spent an hour playing this. I can honestly say that downtown Pittsburgh is probably the hardest Pac-Man level ever. Just because it's ridiculous. I mean, you guys know. You've been downtown Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
Look it up on the map and just see the crazy-ass layout that is downtown Pittsburgh. And that is all I have this week in video game themed things from around the internet. Back to you, Bobby.
I would like to add that my road is not conducive to Pac-Manning. Before we move on, we actually have an achievement from our chat room from Brother Sorg. He said, I had the wrong chat room up. He said this week he continued progressing slowly through Ocarina of Time and Wind Waker. He played a little more Dragon Ball Xenoverse to the beginning of the Boo Saga, and played some Borderlands 1s, and he needs to find a friend to play with. And he tried Dead or Alive 5 that was just released on PC. So thank you for that. All right, Chachi.
Yes.
I hear you've delved into a sport this weekend that is one of my favorite sports.
That is correct.
Yeah.
I hit the ice in curling this week. I'd like to point out that it is probably the first and only sports game that I'll review on Mobile Monday. Just because sports games aren't fun to review. It's straightforward. How did the game play? How did it sound? How did it look? Etc. I can honestly say that I know nothing more about curling than I did going into this. You slide a rock. No, that's not true. I do know that the curling stone weighs 38 pounds and has it is made out of cement and has a handle.
Where's it from?
What, curling?
Yeah.
Curling is from...
Where do the stones come from?
Oh, I have no idea.
I think Scotland.
But if you've never heard of curling before, essentially what it is you slide this big-ass rock down the ice and control its path using spin on the rock itself when you release, or brooms sweeping the way to speed up and change direction of the stone slightly in order to get it to the area that is commonly known as the house. And the stone that is closest to the center of the house at the end of the round are the ones that are scored. That's all I know about curling. I can say that I successfully scored 0 points in the week-long effort to win a curling match. However, I will say that if Yin's team softball doesn't work out anymore, I'm definitely looking into a curling league next week.
Yin's team curling?
Yeah, because it would be fun as hell. So
I have a personal story about curling. You remember the Olympics?
No, what are the Olympics?
Winter Olympics? The Winter Olympics is the last one we had. I fell in love with a British female curler named Anna Sloan. And I watch women's curling because of her, and she's just cute as a button. And if you're listening, but you're probably not, hi. How you doing?
Hi, how you doing?
I'm not good with
I would just like to note that in the notes it says, I just want Chachi to talk about curling.
Yeah. Just so I can mention Anna
That
Sloan.
is amazing. No, it's not really a game that I don't even have it on my phone anymore. It's not a game that lasted on my phone. It was not a fun game because I never won. So
like dirty computer cheated.
What's that?
Dirty computer cheated.
Yeah, it was lopsided.
I had a curling game for Xbox 360. It was an independent game. It was $1. Well worth $1 spent. Maybe you want to try that one. I'm sure you could find it. It's in the marketplace, the indie game marketplace. It's $1.
No, actually, what I'm waiting for is Farm Simulator 15 to come out for Xbox 360.
Yeah. It should be out, isn't it?
I don't know. I didn't see anything pop up on it, and I haven't seen an update, so I'll have to check. But I will definitely check, and if it is, then that is what I'll be achieving all week long. So tune in next week to hear me talk about farming.
All right. Chachi, we're going to move on to one of your favorite franchises here. What was going to be a single side-scrolling Assassin's Creed game set in the 16th century of China is now going to span 3 eras and 3 countries starting April 21st. Assassin's Creed Chronicles China, which takes place in, you guessed it, China, in 1526, as the Ming Dynasty starts to crumble, it will be the first game in the series of a trilogy of side-scrolling 2D-ish games. Assassin's Creed Chronicles India throws you into tension between the Sikh Empire and the East India Company in 1841, and Assassin's Creed Chronicles Russia occurs in Russia in 1918. The first of these games, the China one, will be out for PS4, Xbox One, and PC on April 21st for $9.99, or free if you have the Assassin's Creed Unity Season Pass. Okay, what do you guys think of this indie game? More of an indie game approach to Assassin's Creed. Is it good for the franchise? And do you like to see them playing around with the Assassin's Creed formula?
I like this in the same way that I liked what they did with Hitman Go for the phone. You know, I like the idea that they're playing with it. You know, they're playing with that concept, and like to see what else kind of comes from it.
Chachi, you're the resident expert.
I'm conflicted on this. I like the idea that they're willing to try new things. I will put that out there for Ubisoft. I'm okay with them wanting to try new things. However, and I realize that they're trying to cover a lot of ground in the story arc of the Assassins and Templars.
Mm-hmm.
However, one of the best things about the game is the exploration of the 3D world.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I just don't see it working as a 2D scroller, and I hope I'm wrong because it's Assassin's Creed. I love Assassin's Creed, and I want them to always succeed, so there's more Assassin's Creed. But also, can I just throw out that if you're going to do 2D scrolling, don't waste such awesome eras on it.
Yeah, they could have actually did these regular Assassin's Creed games, because they've never been to China, they've never been to India, and they've never been to Russia.
There's such awesome eras to have an Assassin's Creed game and there's so much conflict in those eras. I mean, if you're going to do a 2D scroller that's basically a DLC for Unity, then do it in the same era as Unity. Don't waste it on China, India, and Russia. It's just...
Maybe, and maybe if it gets popular, maybe they will see that people like these games, and maybe they'll take the next installment to these eras.
Right. I don't know. It's just one of those things, because I mean, we're talking about the Russian Civil War. I mean, this is high communism era. I mean, if you're going to do an Assassin's Creed game in Russia in 1918, then it needs to be a full-on game. There's so much corruption and battling and just evil happening. I mean,
the main villain in that game, John Cena.
I mean, so much fun could have been had in a normal Russian Assassin's Creed. And then they want to do it. They just want so conflicted.
All right. Our next story. Recently, Microsoft has come under fire for the standby mode in the Xbox One consoles. When this mode is active, the console never really turns off, and it just waits for you to say the magic words, Xbox on. I'm nowhere near my Xbox right now, so it can't hear me, to wake up the console. This after it was promised that the new consoles would be more energy efficient. By being in standby mode, it results in a lot of unnecessary energy usage, according to NRDC senior scientist Noah Horowitz. Up to $250 million worth of energy a year, gamers will eventually be stuck paying that. Okay, that's like every gamer, not just one gamer. If you want to save money or just want to save the environment on the Xbox One, it also has an energy saving mode, but this will shut off the Kinect and it won't listen to you. You can yell Xbox on until you're blue in the face and it won't turn on. But to enable the energy saving mode on the Xbox One, go to the home screen, press the menu button on the controller, select settings, then power and startup, and then select energy saving power mode. How does this make you feel about energy saving when it comes to gaming? Is this a big issue or not that big of a deal to you guys?
Quite frankly, not that big of a deal for me.
Okay.
I don't have an Xbox One, and even if I did have an Xbox One, I doubt that I would use that feature to begin with.
I use standby mode. I just learned of this. So guess what's not going to be happening much often anymore.
Yeah, kind of
Wait,
kills
you
the
didn't
point,
know
doesn't it?
standby mode was a thing before?
I knew standby mode was a thing before, but I didn't know it was such an energy hog.
Oh.
I just figured it would be, because the consoles were more energy efficient. I didn't think of it. So I'm stupid.
No, you're not really stupid. It's just it used more energy than anyone thought it would.
Yeah.
But and who knows how much energy it's actually using on a case by case basis.
I think he said something like 12.5 watts or something like that. I don't know energy.
Yeah, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think people are just looking for something to complain about since no one has gone on a shooting spree to blame video games on. So
video games are bad for the environment. Sorg, any thoughts?
No, not a huge issue, but then again, look how many computers I run just in the studio on a regular basis. So energy consumption is kind of a general issue with me.
Sorg does not celebrate Earth Day.
No, not right here. No, unfortunately. So, Sorgatron Industries.
Listen, I can I just point out that I take the bus to work or I walk. I don't own a car. That's as much as I'm reducing my carbon footprint.
Mm-hmm.
I go through an obstacle course to get to work.
So, yeah, I'm not. No. You stay out of my electronics. I do my part.
All right, some sad news to report, guys. PlayStation Home, which was Sony's attempt at a Second Life experience, is shutting down today.
Oh, no.
The Avatar social network for the PS3 for PS3 owners started in 2008. And while most gamers weren't really sure what to do with this game, is it a game? Whatever it is. Some gamers, I'm sure, will be sad to see it go. Kudos to Sony for letting Home stick around this long, and we applaud them. Anybody who still made a house of Home. R.I.P. Home. Home is survived by Destiny's The Last City and World of Warcraft's Nagrid. Would anybody like to share some words about PlayStation Home?
Yes.
Kind words?
I do.
Any stories?
We are gathered here today to celebrate the life and times of PlayStation Home. PlayStation Home was a thing.
Which we were not sure about what the purpose of was. I actually had PlayStation Home. I went there once. I wore a T-shirt that had some kind of a brand on it, and saw other people with similar clothes walking around doing nothing. The end.
PlayStation Home. You weren't a Second Life. You weren't a Third Life. You really weren't even a Fifth Life. But you were there. And you were an attempt Because somebody in engineering played way too much Second Life. Good riddance.
If you'd like to donate to PlayStation, buy PlayStation Plus in Home's honor. All right, let's move on to some more positive news here. Toejam and Earl are back.
Yay!
The creators of Toejam and Earl managed to meet their fundraising goal for Toejam and Earl Back in the Groove. Developers Human Nature Studios aim to raise at least $400,000 to fund development of its new Toejam and Earl game. The Kickstarter campaign comes to a close on Friday, March 27th, which that already passed. And to date, the developer has raised $413,000, so that they hit their goal, and it had more than 7,300 backers. The studio plans to include 4-player co-op, both online and offline, for this game. Were you guys big Toejam and Earl fans, and are you excited to see this franchise back in action?
I have a confession to make, guys.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Didn't really like Toejam and Earl.
Wow.
Overrated game. Wasn't really fun.
Oh, no.
So, yeah. Don't really care. I could put this in the Leave the Dead Gone category that I brought up last week and the week before and the week before and the week before about
they're bringing back
games.
They're bringing back franchises, Chachi. It's what we want as adult gamers.
Not really.
Your childhood back, most of us.
No. Not really.
Sorry, were you a big fan of Toejam and Earl?
In the fact that I loved watching the parts on GamePro TV where they showed Toejam and Earl, because I didn't have a Genesis and really wished I did at the time. And by the time I got one, I was way too older and lack of caring to play Toejam and Earl, unfortunately. But it's definitely one that I have fond memories of watching. Wow, that's like the early Let's Play videos for me. Revelations.
GamePro TV was your Twitch.
It was my Twitch.
Nice.
JD Roth was my Justine.
JD Roth.
Wow.
JD Roth is all of our Justines.
Wow.
I on the other hand, I played Toejam and Earl at my friend's house, like when I was a kid. It was fun. I enjoyed it. We had some good times with it. But I wonder if Toejam and Earl enjoyed pizza.
I bet they did, because they were cool, funky dudes, Toejam and Earl, and they would have loved Slice on Broadway pizza that I'm munching right now off camera and muting my mic, so hopefully you're not hearing that stuff. But SliceOnBroadway.com, they have some great stuff. They've been supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with pizza perfectly for over a year now, and you can check them out there at SliceOnBroadway.com. And if you're in the South Hills, Pittsburgh, if you're venturing, you're visiting, you're saying hi, maybe you see us in the studio, you drop down the tracks here in Beachview, and you go check them out, or down on the Main Street in Carnegie, PA, not too far away either from downtown. So please go check them out and let them know that you heard about them on Insert Coin to Begin's Boss Battle.
You know what you could do also?
What's that?
Go on Google Maps.
Yeah.
To a Slice on Broadway location.
And play Pac-Man.
And have Pac-Man. Have Pac-Man go into Slice on Broadway and get some pizza.
Nama, nama, nama.
All right. It's time for our final battle question of the week.
What's that?
Got some sad news to report.
That's my frustration noise.
Yeah. Remember last week when we reported on the sad Legend of Zelda news about the Netflix series not happening?
Yeah.
Well, in sadder Legend of Zelda
I forgot
news,
this was within the last week since the show, and I have to relive this again.
Yes, the new Legend of Zelda game for Wii U has been pushed back to 2016. Series producer Eiji Aonuma, I can't pronounce Japanese names, I apologize. Said in...
Wow.
What's that?
No, I'll tell you off show.
Okay. He said in a update this week, in the last 3 months, as the team has experienced firsthand the freedom of exploration that hasn't existed in any Zelda game to date, we have discovered several new possibilities for the game. As I have watched our development progress, I have come to think that rather than work with meeting a specific schedule as our main objective, and releasing a game that reflects only what we can create within the scheduled time, I feel strongly that our focus should be to bring all these ideas to life in a way that will make The Legend of Zelda on Wii U the best game it can possibly be. He went on to apologize to the fans and said that no longer making a 2015 release is our number one priority. It will also not be shown at E3 this year. So this brings us to our final round question. Does this hold up make you think that The Legend of Zelda is going to debut on the new Nintendo system, much like they did with Twilight Princess and on the Wii? Or do you think it's just coming out for Wii U and they're just buying time to make a better game for the Wii U? What are your thoughts? Who wants to start?
I have
Gotcha.
several thoughts,
Okay.
none of which are appropriate for children. First, let me preface this by stating that the stranger on the bus on Friday that told me, watch, they're going to delay Nintendo, is Satan.
They're going to delay Nintendo?
And Zelda.
Oh, okay.
I had a random conversation with a person on a bus on my way to Chris's on Friday. We were talking about video games. And the last thing they said was, watch, they'll delay Zelda.
Did he then run into somebody else and with?
No.
Have you seen the movie Fallen? That's
I have.
the devil.
But so that person is the devil. Ultimately, it just means that if rumors are correct, and this game will be the first one released on Nintendo's next system, then Nintendo gets $0 until that happens. I have flat out decided that I will not buy any Nintendo products until a new Zelda game is released.
Okay. Question for you.
Yeah.
If the new Zelda game is released for both Wii U and the NX or whatever the new system is going to be called, which would you buy?
It depends on the new system, but most likely the new system.
Okay.
I'm not gonna. The whole reason I haven't bought a Wii U yet is because I'm not intrigued by that system.
Mm-hmm.
And the lack of a new Zelda game made that decision a lot easier for me.
Correct.
Because I said it last year when they announced, or was it last year, the Wii U?
Yeah.
It was 2 years ago.
No, 2 years ago.
I said 2 years ago when they announced the Wii U and failed to announce a new Zelda game to go with it, that if your system is not accompanied by a Mario game or a Zelda game, I'm not buying it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been 2 years, and I still don't have a Zelda game.
Wind Waker doesn't count.
No, it doesn't. Re-releases don't count.
Mm-hmm.
I need a new story. So until that happens, no money for me.
Mm-hmm. I know Riz was really upset that it pushed it back because he has a Wii U Warriors with Zelda. I don't even think he has Wind Waker, I don't think. So, I mean, he was upset about that. I'm like you, Chachi. I'm not going to buy a Wii U until they come out with those Legend of Zelda game that's not a rehash.
Well, Riz brought this up to me earlier, and I told him that my knife wanted to hug him. Because I flat out told him, I was like, listen, if you're going to talk to me about the Zelda delay, then I'm gonna stab you in the face. And he kept talking about it, and I said, come here, Riz, my knife would like to hug you.
Good times with friends.
Yeah.
Sorg, do you have any thoughts on
it wouldn't really happen.
Yeah, I got some thoughts as I'm wearing the Zelda hoodie tonight. Nintendo, like, how often do they have just horrible timing with scheduling things? Is there anything big coming out? Or we're going to find out tomorrow in this Nintendo Direct, I guess. But is there anything big scheduled to get you excited?
Riz seems to think it's going to be an April Fool's joke, and they'll say that The Legend of Zelda for Wii U is out tomorrow. That the delay was just an April Fool's joke leading up to April Fool's.
See.
I don't think so.
See.
If they are doing a April Fool's joke involving Zelda, it won't be available tomorrow, but they'll have a release date. Because I don't think they're going to forego all of the pre-money for pre-orders and whatnot.
They're not going to Sega Saturn it.
Yeah.
One thing I think they might announce or show off tomorrow is probably what was the game with the octopuses or the ink.
Oh yeah, that's not out yet, is it? But that's not going to be like a system buyer. That'll be nice, but I don't think it's gonna. It's not going to be as big as the 1-2 combo of Mario Kart and Smash Brothers was last year. No way.
And it is their first original IP in like quite some time though.
Right.
And I think they want to put faith into that. So I think that they might be showing that off tomorrow. Maybe they announce something new. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe new Metroid. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Star Fox. They still have that in the pike. So, all right, that's gonna do it for us. Special thanks to Mike Allen at Mike Allen PR for handling the notes and tweets for us. You can follow us on Twitter on @InsertCoinTB. You can visit us at InsertCoinToBegin.com. New articles going up daily. And you can join us live each and every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock on live.sorgatronmedia.com for @Sorgatron, @Chachi Says. I'm at Bobby FJ Town. Game over.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.